Welcome to the Biblical Resources Channel, where we recklessly spread freedom all over the world.
You know, while you were gone on your trip, that's when I started really digging in and getting a clear picture of Ephesians 2:1-3. And you know, I think I text you and Andy, and I'm like, oh man, more great realization here. And now it's thrilling that you know, that we got a chance to talk last week, and of course you already see it now, and so I'm looking forward to today because you and I can just talk about it, because this is the great thing, is that this realization, I think by and large, when it's this realization is presented to the outcalled, by and large, there's an immediate resonation. Well, especially those who've been following us, you know, and we're already on the same page on so many of our realizations.
Well, it's like I think we communicate a little bit about the fact there are no new truths.
Correct. Yes.
Just new realizations. It's like
that's all.
We kind of knew this.
We knew
but it. To hear it so plainly,
yes,
it's like, whoa, wow, this really is,
yes,
the truth. God really is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And and the more now, and again, very important to stress that Revelation, not the book of Revelation, but the divine process of revealing truth ended with the writing of Ephesians and Colossians. That completed the Word of God. So there are no new truths for pushing 2,000 years now. But there is certainly new realization of these old truths. And these truths are older than Christendom's theology and their creeds, and just being able to, and what a joy that is, that realization, and, sometimes I describe it and I find that it's the experience of others who are called, is that when you hear it, when you see it, when you understand it, there is almost some sense in which you always knew it. It's and that's to me what resonation is. It's like, of course.
Yeah.
I think I always knew that, even though, and I believe that's because it's in our spiritual DNA. We were called before the disruption of the world, and so it's in the logos, and so it's and that word logos is on the foundation of the word Lego, which just like the kids' toy Legos, it's where you build something. Right. And God built something before he started. He had a master plan, and it was written firmly in divine DNA. And I think that's why when we finally see it, it's hard for me to think when I didn't see it, and it's almost hard for me to go back in my journey and really I sometimes feel like when I think about my past, and it's like somebody I used to know, but wasn't me. It's like an acquaintance I had, and,
Well, yeah.
and as the focus comes in, we become more and more aware of who we really are.
And for me, my journey in the last 15 years of 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 trying to find out who God is, and it started out with love, and then trying to figure out how God is love, has unconditional love, but has all these other things that Christianity throws in there. And so you throw that off, and then you start, God just keeps his, and after a while, it's like, well, of course God's like that.
Yes. Right.
And you hear it and it goes, of course God would be that way. Of course God, that's who God is.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, it's just this growing realization of God, who God is and what God's all about. And then who we are in that.
Yes. Yes.
We are part of the plan. We're not recipients of the plan. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it, but we were included in all of this.
Yes.
And that's what makes us who we are.
Yeah.
And it's not, again, this journey has been his journey, as he opens up things and opens up things and opens up things.
Yeah. And so many times I can look back in my life, and I can look back and see that from as far back as I can remember as a little boy, I can look back and see where I was going. It's all pretty clear now. I didn't know where I was going at the time, but I can see it now.
Yeah.
And it's that, I think the best way again to say it is it's a spiritual DNA. And we inherently knew, I believe, even from very, very young age, I think we inherently knew something was wrong with what we were being taught, that something was wrong with the picture, that something was wrong in the way things were understood. And that, I think that was our spirit. And it made us empty, and it made us longing, and it made us hungry. Not that we necessarily, that not, of course, that we didn't have the realization at that moment what it was, but as it slowly unfolded, we kept saying yes, a little more, yes. And the yes keeps getting bigger and bigger. All the promises of God are yes in Christ. And oh my.
It was like I started out with this box, and of course the box was really small in my early years, and the box kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then one day I realized there wasn't a box. I think that, people go on this journey as we take steps. We still have a box. It gets bigger. It gets bigger.
Yeah.
And then the realization is there never was a box.
Yeah.
Box alone was
right.
What was imposed on me and what I believed, and where Father had me, obviously, but
yeah. And while the box gets bigger and bigger, which is freedom,
right? And
the box gets bigger and bigger because that's the expanding view of God that we have.
Right.
Yet, in another sense, our worldview, the system of the world, the course of the world, the operation of this age it gets smaller and smaller. He's broadening us and this expansive view of God, and he's narrowing our world, and he narrows us away from fear and from bondage and from religious constraint and creeds and behavior rules of religion. And oh my goodness, how glorious is that?
I realized yesterday that I have no clue what's going on in the world. Like, the only thing that affects me is the gas prices, and
yeah, right.
Nothing I can do about it.
Sure.
And I'm like, I wonder what's happening with that Iran thing.
Yeah,
but I didn't care enough to go check it out, so I still don't know.
All that stuff, was going on for hundreds and thousands of years before we were born, and it's going to continue to go on after we take our dirt nap. And so, we're in the wide open spaces of God's grace and joy and love, just freedom. And what I love when people tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
not because I have a hankering, no, not because I have this longing to know, but I love people telling me because it reminds me, that Father has narrowed my world and to these great things. And it's thrilling. It's thrilling to be out of the loop. We got enough to handle.
And we have, and there's a peace to it. There's a joy to it. I'm not worrying about things I have no control over. Well, I have no control anyhow, but I don't even have any perceived control over,
Right.
It's just totally out of my hands. And like I said, we got, till we take care of our families, and our friends and our studies.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And trying to provide and care for and all those things, I don't have the room for for all that stuff.
Yeah. What a stratagem of the adversary.
Yeah.
To simply dilute us, to simply distract us, to simply overwhelm our time and our affections and our concerns. And, it's the sand ballot that just keeps, and the sand ballot can be anything, any call away, any distraction away. It can even be a good distraction, a noble cause, a noble effort, and then we're just, oh my. And I know those that are, and I'll tell you another place he narrows our, and we're to expect it, is another place he narrows is he even narrows our audience, because our message is not for the masses. Now our message has a direct relationship and effect on the masses, and that's coming. Our ministry to the universe is coming. But for now, we are in preparation. And that preparation is just a very small handful. And those that keep returning, and reading our materials and watching our videos, I'm thankful for them. And I know that persistence is being created not by fanfare, not by anything tantalizing, not by anything entertaining, not by sensationalism, but that drive to plug in together and grow together and be knit together and built together is all a divine operation. And it makes me smile.
And it's amazing the distractions that come. We find out that someone disagrees with us, and then you know, you feel this urge, you got to make things right. Well, that's not our problem, you know. So one thing I learned, someone told me this years ago, is what other people think about me is not my problem.
It's not. Yeah.
No.
And it shouldn't be our concern, They're following their script.
Right.
And if I'm busy focused on everybody else's script, I don't have time for my script,
Yeah.
We're in this together.
We're in this together. And the freedom is, the freedom word keeps coming up, at the freedom journey. I'm working on this book, The Freedom Years. And that's all part of peace, a part of joy.
Yeah.
And it's freedom even in the midst of of things that seem to bind us, whether it's health or financial things or what other, but there's still that freedom in being able to see through it, see beyond it.
Yeah.
And
absolutely. And we're not ignorant of those circumstances and that environment. You and I and the rest of our co-laborers, we are facing all the normal struggles of life.
Right.
Job said that man is born in the trouble as sparks fly upward. And we're in the middle of all that, We're not.
As we get older, it becomes more evident.
More evident. Yeah. But we have the joy. Some people think we just got our head in the sand and we're delusional. But what it is that we're able, by divine realization and divine empowerment, concordant, the King James calls it working, God's working in us, his workmanship. Concordant talks about the operation. The Greek word is energizing. God is energizing us with this effectual working that allows us not to disregard circumstances and environments, but to look past them, through them, to God only, the one who loves us, the one who's all wise and all sovereign. And then there's where, in the middle of the difficulties, there is calm, there is peace, there is joy. And that's all real stuff. These aren't created by some replacement experiences where we're having fun, but they're replaced by something stable.
It's not positive thinking.
Yes.
It's not something that, that's, you got to think, the whole positive thinking thing that was years ago, had all the books and tapes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just put in us. And when both you and I and our other people I work with, Andre and the others, if we all put a list of things we were dealing with, we just depress each other.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for yes. And and we could all just start enumerating all of our problems and trials, and in the midst of it all, we would lose track of these glorious things we talk about.
Yeah.
Hey, I love you and appreciate you. And we want our listeners and readers to know we love and appreciate you. We're so thankful that Father has knitted us together. He has joined us together, and that, though in our community and neighborhood, we might be alone, we across the globe are have this bond and enjoy this love and peace and growth together. So we want to thank everybody for staying tuned with us.
This has been a presentation of the Biblical Resources Channel. Thanks for watching.